Man, that's tough. I mean, there's where it's going to go one of two ways, in my opinion. It is the high performance directors and the Australian models that have been popping up. They're either going to take over or it's going to regress, to everybody in their own little thing. And what I'm hoping happens is, something I'm trying to do, you go out and push and create relationships and things like that, bringing in all the different departments and integrating and having a comprehensive integrated approach where you're letting the experts do their thing, right? Man, I might teach in the PT department, but I'm not going to know how to activate that kid's internal oblique. I'm going to leave that up to them, but I'm going to have them in there. I made it through stats. I didn't do stats. I made it through. I survived, right? So I'm going to extend I'm going to get a statistician to be able to run those things and interpret things properly, because I know I've made mistakes before. So, yeah. But I hope that it goes and integrates with everything, with all the different departments, because man, nobody is smart enough to know all this crap. Maybe we got our smartphones, and maybe Siri's going to come up with hey, I want to be the ultimate strength coach so I can tell you how to do every single thing. But the problem is a lot of times we don't know what questions to ask. Perfect example is there was a guy that I was talking to at a conference, and he was saying he was trying to figure out a way to measure power output from vertical jump. You're trying to measure power from a vertical jump, huh? Yeah, you're trying. How long have you been working on this? Man, I've been working on this for years. I think I'm on the edge. Science doesn't have anything on me. I'm freaking. I'm way ahead. Go, okay. What about this Dick Sargent back in 1924 doing the vertical jump test, and then, that formula. Granted, it wasn't very accurate, but then there was Harmon in 1974 who came out with one of the premier equations to get peak anaerobic power in watts from vertical jump. Still used by a lot of people. Sayers in 91. It's like, congratulations, you're so far ahead. You're 90 years to, let's even give him credit. You're only 40 years behind. And the problem is he just didn't know what to look for because he was afraid to ask somebody and, look stupid. I'm kind of like Cal. I'm pretty sure I'm the dumbest guy in the room, so I'm not afraid to ask a stupid question. So I'm going to go find those things out.
I hate it when he says that, because I'm like, if he's the dumbest guy in the room, like, I'm in big trouble. I think the level talk with levels 1, 2, and 3, like certain other foreign countries have, is really interesting. Something that we might, go that route. In the world of personal training, they're talking licensure, and certain states have been trying to talk licensure for a while. I don't know that, I don't know if that's good or not, but it very well, if kids keep dying, it could go that way if Congress gets hold of it. I'd really like to see some sort of levels at different levels, and something that some organizations could collaborate on to create these levels, which would be something down the future. We've kind of got a partial fix with the registered strength coach program, the registry, that you have to prove that you have hands-on experience. So you have to be in the field to become in the registry. Major League Baseball adopted it, so everyone in all their levels has to be a registered strength coach. It's on that route, hopefully, to that levels, which it would be nice if we could all get on the same page about that.
Yeah, how about in August, where the NCAA finally passed something that you've actually got to be certified?
Yeah, huge new ruling that the NCAA adopted with that health and safety stuff, that nationally accredited certification is going to be required for D1 strength coaches. So that was a huge step, because that's going to really require them really looking at it and looking at, hey, okay, we recognize that accreditation means something, and that these two organizations are accredited and are on the way to making this profession get lifted up a little bit. And some places it's really good and have a lot of great respect at their universities and their settings, and some they still think we're knuckle draggers that just do whatever in the weight room. So we've got to keep working together to elevate that profession.
Yeah, I think too, is once you get into certain spots to help people out. I know I get tons of emails a day on young coaches. I try to get to all of them if I can. I forward them to my assistants, but when you're in a position like us, be willing to talk to people or field a phone call from a guy that's trying to get into profession.
Yeah.
You know, I try not to put myself above anybody in regards to, well, you're just starting out. You know, you got a long road ahead of you. The only time I won't spend time with those people is when I got to spend time with my own kids and family, right? I mean, but I'm willing to do that. But ultimately, I assume I can just learn from people. Anybody who walks in my gym, I'm willing to sit down and talk to. They'll ask questions, and then whether it helps me deliver a message later a little bit better. But I think the profession is getting harder to stay in. I'm sure the burnout rate, I don't know if you guys have numbers, but I mean, when people start, it's pretty high because it is so hard. It is a very hard profession. You come in with passion, and yet then it becomes frustrating. I think you got to shake that off. You know, I have a library of 90,000 books and articles, and I go the extra mile to get better. And I got coaches who really don't care if I do that or not. You know, they just want to make sure their team's worked out hard, and that's fine. But you're like, there's no rhyme or reason. And, you know, I could be mindless when I train their team, but hopefully there's a goal. And I even ask them, what's your goal? And they don't really have a goal. Just work them hard, make them tough. You know, I tell people, well, I'm like, you got to recruit tough kids, right? Like, well, you were a wrestler, you make them tough like a wrestler. I'm like, well, soft kids quit wrestling is what happens. It's not like the wrestling makes anybody tough. The kids that don't like wrestling and don't like that stuff and aren't as mentally tough, then decide to go somewhere else and do something different, you know? So, I mean, that's the frustrating part of our profession at times, obviously. So, the future, hey, it's getting more tough, you know, harder for those young guys to break in, and it's about networking and probably have to put in hours. I know when I did my GA, I worked 12 hours, and I'd go and could take class at night, and I'd get home at 10:30. I think I lost 80 pounds during my GA, which was probably a good thing. Right. But, I mean, I didn't have much time to eat, was working. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's just what I don't know many people that would have went through that. Oh, yeah. You know, and then just stayed with it. I mean, my parents would call, how you doing? And I'd tell them what's going on. They're like, oh, you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, there's no question I want to do this. Yeah. I don't know, you know, a lot of people might not sacrifice to get to where we're at. Oh, yeah. You know, today kids are they want that proverbial carrot out in front of them right there. You know, oh, if I do this internship, I'm going to get a job with you, right? Well, I mean, I get 180 resumes sometimes for these jobs of people with masters, if not working on their PhD, that have 8 years of coaching. You know, I don't know if I can hire you yet. I mean, that just is, you know, I'm looking for the best person. Not always the most qualified, but the right person for the jobs. Right. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily need the best. I need the guy that's the right person for the job, for the teams that he's going to be coaching with me.
Yeah. We've all got our stories, I know, about getting in the field, and it's, that carrot, man, I'll tell you how many times I've heard that from our interns. Like, well, why should I have to do this? I've got a bachelor's. I'm like, man, I worked for 2 years for free. I slept in the weight room because I couldn't make rent. And then I was, Rick always loves to tell this story to his people whenever they start complaining, is I would work, get there at 5:30 in the morning, sometimes go to class during the day, be done about 7:30 at night, go home, sleep 2 hours, go work at the bar because I still wasn't being paid, go bounce from about 10 till 2 in the morning, come back, sleep in the weight room until he took a bumper plate and would come. I had a blow-up mattress. It was the greatest thing ever. He'd come near my air mattress and just slam that plate down, and I'd hop up, and here we were going all over again. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every week. And it was, it was a struggle. But if it weren't for that struggle, man, I know I wouldn't have started improving and worked so hard. You don't esteem what you don't have to earn.
No, you're exactly.
It's so anybody who's just thinking, oh, I want to go get this job. Man, that's not the person I want. You know who the people I want are the people who freaking, the farmers and the people who've been out there working construction and know how to bust their butt. We can educate, but we got to find like you're saying, the right people. Yeah. You get the wrong person in there, it doesn't matter how smart they are.
Right.
More,
just a pain.
the more we keep elevating this profession too, that the more opportunities it's going to create for other job opportunities. And you know, obviously some of us will want to stay in Division I in college, but some of us, you know, with the special forces, there's been a lot of opportunity. With regular military, there's been a lot of opportunity. It's going to, high schools have somewhat, but there's still, Mark and I were talking about this earlier, high schools is just unbelievable how much potential there is. You know, if like athletic trainers, where you need to have an athletic trainer at every school, if we're able to put forth a, you know, initiative where you have to have a strength coach at every school, there's going to be so much opportunities to do some other things for experienced coaches.
Yeah, job market exploding.
Yeah.